Imagine this: you're sitting in a comfortable chair, staring out of the window. The days pass by, each one almost identical to the last. You tell yourself there's plenty of time. Time to chase your dreams, time to make that leap of faith, time to truly live. But here's the cold, hard truth: time isn't on your side. Most men walk through life with an illusion, a belief that there's always more time. More time to accomplish their goals, more time to become the person they aspire to be, more time to make a difference. But time is deceptive. It slips away quietly, and before you know it, the opportunities you've been postponing are gone, replaced by regret. We often think of time as abundant, a never-ending resource we can tap into whenever we want. But it's a cruel irony: by the time you realize how valuable it is, it's often too late. The years you've spent procrastinating, doubting, and hesitating are years you'll never get back. This is why so many men find themselves at a crossroads in life, wondering where all the time went and why they didn't do more when they had the chance. Here's the reality check: time isn't infinite. It's the most precious currency you have, and yet, it's the one we squander the most. While you're waiting for the perfect moment, time is slipping through your fingers. And what's worse, it's not just the time that's lost, it's the opportunities, the potential, the life you could have lived. It's only when you're older, when the days ahead are fewer than the days behind, that this brutal truth hits home. And here's the controversial part: society has conditioned men to believe that they have all the time in the world. The truth: they don't. This belief, this illusion of infinite time, is one of the most destructive lies we've been fed. It's the reason so many men end up with a lifetime of regrets, wishing they had taken action sooner, wishing they had understood the value of time before it was too late. Let me ask you this: how would your life change if you truly understood the finite nature of time? If you knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that your time was limited, would you still hesitate? Would you still wait for the perfect moment, or would you seize every day as if it were your last? The men who understand this lesson early on are the ones who live without regret. They're the ones who take risks, who chase their dreams with relentless passion, who refuse to let fear and doubt hold them back. They're the ones who look back on their lives with a sense of fulfillment, not because they had more time, but because they made the most of the time they had. So, here's the challenge: stop living under the illusion that time is on your side. It's not. Every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. Don't wait until it's too late to realize this. Don't wait until you're older, looking back on a life filled with what ifs and could have beens. The time to act is now. Don't let another day slip away. From a young age, men are taught to be strong, independent, and self-reliant. The image of the lone wolf, the solitary warrior who battles life's challenges on his own, is celebrated in our culture. But here's the hard truth that many men only discover when it's too late: no man is an island. The belief that you can go through life without leaning on others is not just misguided, it's a myth that can lead to profound loneliness, burnout, and missed opportunities. This myth of self-sufficiency is deeply ingrained in the male psyche. Society tells men that asking for help is a sign of weakness, that admitting you can't do something on your own is a failure. But this belief is as toxic as it is untrue. The most successful men, the ones who truly make an impact, understand the power of connection, collaboration, and community. They know that asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Here's a controversial take: the idea that a man should be able to handle everything on his own is one of the most damaging lies men are told. It's a belief that leads to isolation, to carrying burdens too heavy to bear alone, and to missing out on the richness that comes from shared experiences and support. The truth is, the most resilient men are those who know when to lean on others, who understand the value of partnership, and who are not afraid to say, "I need help." Think about it: how much time and energy have you wasted trying to do everything yourself? How many opportunities have you missed because you were too proud or too afraid to ask for assistance? Men who embrace collaboration early in life are the ones who achieve more, who build stronger networks, and who find greater fulfillment. They understand that success isn't a solo journey, it's a collective effort. And here's where the reward comes in: when you let go of the myth of self-sufficiency, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You build deeper relationships, you find mentors who guide you, and you create a support system that propels you forward. You no longer have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders because you have people who are willing to share the load. There's a certain irony in this lesson. The very thing that men are taught to avoid, depending on others, is often the key to unlocking their greatest potential. It's only when you accept that you can't do it all on your own that you begin to see the true power of collaboration. You start to build a life that is not only successful, but also rich in connection and meaning. So, if you've been living under the belief that you have to go it alone, it's time to challenge that idea. Reach out, connect, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Remember, the most successful men are not those who do everything by themselves, but those who understand the power of working together. Don't let the myth of self-sufficiency hold you back from achieving everything you're capable of. Embrace the truth, you don't have to do it alone, and you'll be stronger for it. Before continuing, I invite you to click on the first comment, it will help you a lot. Success. It's the golden word that drives so many men. From an early age, men are taught that success is the ultimate goal, achieve it, and you'll have everything you've ever wanted. Wealth, power, respect. But what if I told you that chasing success can sometimes lead you down a path of emptiness and regret? That the pursuit of success, without understanding what truly matters, can cost you more than you ever imagined. This is where things get controversial. Society glorifies the hustle, the grind, the relentless pursuit of more. But what it doesn't tell you is that success, as defined by material gains and status, can often be hollow. It can be a trap that lures men into a life of constant striving, but little real fulfillment. The world is filled with men who have achieved great things, only to find themselves feeling empty, disconnected, and wondering what it was all for. Here's a truth that many men learn too late: success, in the traditional sense, doesn't guarantee happiness. In fact, it often comes at a great personal cost. The hours spent working, the sacrifices made, the relationships neglected, these are the hidden prices of success that no one talks about. By the time you realize that success without fulfillment is meaningless, you may have already paid a price that's too high. But why is this realization so late in coming? Because society's definition of success is deeply ingrained. Men are taught that their worth is measured by their achievements, their bank accounts, and their titles. And so, they chase these goals with everything they have, often at the expense of their health, their relationships, and their true passions. It's only later, when they've climbed the mountain and reached the top, that they look around and realize they're standing there alone, unfulfilled, and wondering why they feel so empty inside. And here's where curiosity plays a role. What if there's a different way to measure success? What if success isn't about the external markers of achievement, but about living a life that's aligned with your values, passions, and relationships? What if true success is about balance, achieving your goals while also nurturing the parts of your life that bring you joy, connection, and meaning? The men who understand this early on are the ones who find true fulfillment. They don't just chase success for the sake of it, they chase a life that's rich in purpose, connection, and joy. They set goals that align with their values, they invest in relationships, and they make time for the things that truly matter. And in doing so, they create a life that's not only successful by traditional standards, but also deeply satisfying and meaningful. Here's the challenge: before you continue down the path of relentless ambition, ask yourself what success really means to you. Is it about external achievements, or is it about creating a life that's fulfilling on all levels? Don't wait until it's too late to realize that success without fulfillment is empty. Start now by redefining what success looks like for you, and make sure that every step you take is leading you towards a life that's not just successful, but also deeply fulfilling. Men are often told to be strong, to keep a stiff upper lip, to push through life's challenges without letting emotions get in the way. Real men don't cry, they say. Stay tough, don't show weakness. But here's the harsh truth: suppressing emotions isn't a sign of strength, it's a slow form of self-destruction. And by the time many men realize this, the damage is already done. From a young age, boys are conditioned to believe that expressing emotions, especially those seen as weak, like sadness, fear, or vulnerability, is unmanly. The result? A lifetime of bottled-up feelings that slowly eat away at their mental and emotional well-being. But here's the controversial reality that society often ignores: emotions don't just disappear when you suppress them. They linger, they fester, and they eventually erupt in ways that can be destructive, both to yourself and to those around you. This strong belief in emotional suppression is one of the most damaging lessons men are taught. It leads to a life where emotions are kept under lock and key, where every setback is met with a stoic face, but inside, the pressure builds. It's a ticking time bomb. And when it finally goes off, the fallout can be devastating. Anger, depression, anxiety, and broken relationships are just a few of the consequences. The truth is, the cost of emotional suppression is far higher than most men realize. Let's dig deeper. Why do so many men fall into this trap? Because society equates emotional expression with weakness, and men, conditioned to be the strong ones, feel the need to hide their feelings to maintain their perceived strength. But this notion is completely backward. True strength isn't about ignoring or burying your emotions, it's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and learning how to express them in healthy ways. It's about having the courage to be vulnerable, to admit when you're struggling, and to seek help when you need it. Here's where the reward comes in. Men who learn to express their emotions, rather than suppress them, unlock a powerful source of personal growth and well-being. They build deeper, more meaningful relationships, they experience less stress, and they are generally happier and more fulfilled. By embracing their emotions, they gain emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage their feelings, and to empathize with others. This is a skill that not only improves their mental health, but also enhances their personal and professional lives. And here's the irony: what society views as weakness is actually a profound strength. It takes more courage to confront your emotions than to bury them. It takes more strength to say, "I'm struggling," than to pretend everything is okay. Men who understand this early on are the ones who live healthier, happier lives. They avoid the pitfalls of suppressed emotions, such as destructive anger, relationship breakdowns, and mental health crises, and instead, create a life of emotional balance and resilience. So, if you've been taught that real men don't show their feelings, it's time to unlearn that lie. Start recognizing the power of your emotions, start expressing them, and start living a life that's emotionally honest and fulfilling. Don't wait until the emotional toll has already taken its toll. Embrace your emotions now, and you'll discover a strength and clarity that can transform your life for the better. In a world driven by expectations, many men find themselves living lives that are not truly their own. From a young age, they are conditioned to meet the expectations of parents, peers, society, and even themselves, expectations that often do not align with who they truly are or what they genuinely desire. The result? A life spent chasing approval and validation, a life where personal dreams and values are sacrificed on the altar of others' expectations. And by the time men realize the cost of this, it's often too late. Here's a controversial thought: the idea that you must meet others' expectations to be successful or loved is a deeply ingrained falsehood. Society tells men that to be a good man, they must conform, they must please, they must fulfill the roles that others have laid out for them. But this belief is a trap that leads to a life of compromise, dissatisfaction, and ultimately, a loss of self. Curiosity begs the question: what would your life look like if you stopped living for others and started living for yourself? If you stripped away the layers of expectations that have been placed upon you and asked yourself what you truly want, what would change? The truth is, many men never ask themselves this question until they're older, until they've spent decades in careers, relationships, and lifestyles that don't reflect their true selves. And by then, the regret of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential can be overwhelming. But why is it so hard to break free from this cycle? Because the pressure to conform is immense. Men are often taught that their worth is tied to their ability to fulfill certain roles: provider, protector, achiever. They're told that if they stray from these roles, they risk failure, rejection, or loss of respect. And so, they stay on the path laid out for them, even if it means suppressing their own desires, passions, and individuality. Here's the strong belief: living a life that is true to yourself is the most important thing you can do. When you live for others, you lose touch with your own identity. You become a shadow of the person you could be, constantly trying to fit into molds that don't suit you, constantly trying to meet expectations that don't resonate with your true self. And the cost of this is profound: lost opportunities, unfulfilled dreams, and a sense of dissatisfaction that can haunt you for the rest of your life. The men who realize this truth early on are the ones who live with purpose and passion. They are the ones who break free from the chains of others' expectations and choose to live life on their own terms. They understand that true success and happiness come not from meeting others' expectations, but from being true to themselves. They take risks, they make choices that reflect their own values and desires, and they build lives that are rich in authenticity and meaning. So, here's the challenge: stop living for others. Stop letting others dictate who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. Start asking yourself what you truly want out of life. Start making choices that align with your true self, even if it means disappointing others. Because in the end, the only person who can truly live your life is you. Don't wait until it's too late to realize this. Take control now, and start living a life that's true to who you are. Health. It's something we often take for granted when we're young, strong, and full of energy. But as the years go by, the realization dawns that health isn't just about avoiding illness, it's the foundation of everything you do. It's the cornerstone of your ability to achieve, enjoy, and live life to the fullest. And yet, so many men don't truly understand this until it's too late, until the warning signs are impossible to ignore, and the damage has already been done. Here's the curious part: why do so many men neglect their health, even when they know it's important? It's because, in the hustle and bustle of life, health often takes a backseat to work, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of success. Men are taught to push through pain, to ignore fatigue, to sacrifice their bodies in the name of progress. But what they don't realize, until it's often too late, is that without health, everything else crumbles. Success, wealth, relationships, they all mean nothing if your body and mind are falling apart. This brings us to a strong belief: health is not just another aspect of life to be managed, it is the most important investment you can make. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, to prioritize work over workouts, fast food over nutrition, stress over relaxation. But every time you neglect your health, you're chipping away at the foundation of your future. And the cost of this neglect is often paid in the currency of years lost, dreams unfulfilled, and a life that could have been lived with vitality and joy. Imagine this: you've spent decades building your career, accumulating wealth, and achieving your goals. But as you grow older, you start to feel the consequences of the choices you made in your youth. The back pain that you ignored, the stress that you brushed off, the poor diet that you thought didn't matter, they all catch up with you. Suddenly, you're facing health issues that money can't fix, that success can't soothe. You realize that in the race to achieve, you left behind the one thing that truly matters: your health. But here's the reward: the men who prioritize their health early on are the ones who enjoy the fruits of their labor for years to come. They have the energy, the vitality, and the mental clarity to continue achieving, to enjoy life, and to be there for their loved ones. They understand that health isn't just about avoiding disease, it's about thriving. It's about having the physical and mental strength to pursue your passions, to take on new challenges, and to live life on your own terms. So, why wait until it's too late to realize the value of health? Start now. Make your health a priority. Invest in it like you would in your career, your relationships, or your financial future. Eat well, exercise regularly, manage stress, and get enough sleep. Take care of your mental health just as much as your physical health. Because when you do, you're not just investing in a longer life, you're investing in a better life. A life where you can continue to achieve, enjoy, and experience everything you've worked so hard for. Remember, your health is the ultimate wealth. Don't wait until it's too late to understand this truth. Start making choices today that will ensure you have the strength, the vitality, and the longevity to live life to the fullest. Your future self will thank you. Life has a way of sweeping us up in its currents: work, responsibilities, future plans. Men are often driven by the need to achieve, to provide, to secure a better tomorrow. But here's a reality that many only grasp when they've lost too much: the future isn't promised, and the past is gone. The only time you truly have is now. And yet, so many men don't live in the moment, they live in a perpetual state of, what's next, or what if? Curiosity leads us to question, why is it so hard for men to be present? Why do so many find themselves mentally absent, even when they're physically there? The answer lies in the conditioning that tells men to focus on the future, to always plan, to always push forward, to keep their eyes on the horizon. But in doing so, they miss out on the beauty and the richness of the present moment. They miss out on the little things that make life meaningful: the laughter of loved ones, the quiet moments of peace, the simple joys that are all around us. Here's the strong belief: living in the present isn't just a cliché, it's a powerful practice that can transform your life. It's about being fully engaged with what's happening right now, not distracted by thoughts of what's to come or what's already passed. It's about recognizing that the present moment is the only reality, the only place where life actually happens. And when you truly embrace this, you unlock a profound sense of peace and contentment. Think about this: how often are you truly present in your life? How often do you find yourself thinking about work while you're with your family, or worrying about the future while you're enjoying a moment of calm? The truth is, most of us are rarely fully present. We're constantly chasing the next thing, constantly planning, constantly distracted. But the men who learn to live in the moment are the ones who find true happiness. They understand that life isn't something to be postponed until all the pieces fall into place. Life is happening right now, and it's up to you to experience it fully. Here's the reward. When you learn to live in the moment, you begin to appreciate life in ways you never imagined. You start to notice the beauty in the ordinary, you become more connected with the people around you, and you find joy in the simplest of things. You also become more resilient, less stressed, and more content. The future matters, but not at the expense of the present. The men who grasp this truth early on are the ones who live rich, fulfilling lives that aren't just about achieving, but about truly experiencing. But why do so many men only realize this too late? Because they've been taught to value productivity over presence, to measure life by accomplishments rather than experiences. They've been led to believe that happiness lies in the future, in some distant goal or achievement. But the truth is, happiness is here, right now, in this moment. It's in the laughter of your children, the warmth of the sun, the taste of a good meal, the sound of your favorite song. It's in the conversations, the connections, and the quiet moments of reflection. So, here's the challenge: make a commitment to be more present in your life. Start paying attention to the moments that matter, no matter how small they may seem. Put down your phone, silence the noise in your mind, and be where you are. Experience life as it's happening, not as something to be captured or documented for later. The present moment is all you truly have, don't waste it. Embrace it, live it, and you'll find a happiness that can't be found anywhere else. Control. It's something that men are taught to value, to strive for, to maintain at all costs. Control over their careers, their relationships, their futures, even their emotions. The belief is that with enough control, they can shape their lives exactly as they wish. But here's a stark truth that many men only come to understand after years of struggle. The more you try to control everything, the more you realize how little control you actually have. And in the relentless pursuit of control, you can miss out on the true freedom that comes from letting go. Here's the controversial idea: the need for control isn't a strength, it's often a form of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of vulnerability. Society tells men that to be successful, to be respected, they must have everything under control. But the reality is, this obsession with control can lead to anxiety, stress, and a constant state of tension. It's a battle against life itself, which is inherently unpredictable and uncontrollable. The irony is that in trying to control everything, you often lose the very things that make life meaningful: joy, spontaneity, and connection. Consider this: how much of your life is spent trying to control outcomes? How often do you find yourself frustrated or anxious because things aren't going according to plan? The truth is, life is full of uncertainties, and no amount of planning or effort can guarantee that things will always go your way. The men who realize this truth early on are the ones who find peace and freedom. They understand that letting go of the need to control everything doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting in the process, adapting to change, and finding strength in flexibility. Here's the strong belief: true power comes not from controlling everything around you, but from mastering your response to what happens. It's about accepting that some things are beyond your control and focusing instead on how you handle them. This mindset shift, from control to acceptance, can transform your life. It allows you to move through challenges with grace, to navigate uncertainty with confidence, and to experience life without the constant pressure of trying to force it into a specific mold. But why is this lesson so difficult to learn? Because control gives a false sense of security. It's comforting to believe that if you work hard enough, plan meticulously enough, or stay disciplined enough, you can control your destiny. But life doesn't work that way. Unexpected events, other people's actions, and the natural flow of life will always introduce elements you can't control. And when you cling too tightly to the need for control, you set yourself up for disappointment, frustration, and a sense of failure when things don't go as planned. Here's the reward: letting go of the need for control opens you up to a life of greater freedom and peace. It allows you to experience life as it comes, to adapt to changes with resilience, and to focus on what truly matters: your own growth, your relationships, and your well-being. When you let go, you stop wasting energy on trying to control the uncontrollable and start living more fully in the present. You find that you're more at peace, more open to new opportunities, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. So, here's the challenge: start letting go of the need to control every aspect of your life. Embrace the uncertainty, the unpredictability, and the natural flow of life. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your attitude, your mindset, and let the rest unfold as it will. Trust that life has its own rhythm, and that by letting go, you're not losing control, but gaining freedom. The freedom to live, to experience, and to find joy in the moment, no matter what comes your way. In the rush to achieve, to succeed, and to meet the demands of life, men often overlook one of the most powerful tools they have: self-reflection. It's easy to get caught up in the external world, careers, relationships, societal expectations, without ever stopping to ask, who am I? What do I truly want? This lack of self-reflection is why so many men find themselves feeling lost, unfulfilled, and disconnected, despite their outward successes. And often, they don't realize the importance of knowing themselves until it's too late. Curiosity drives us to explore the world around us, but how often do we turn that curiosity inward? How often do we take the time to truly understand our own thoughts, feelings, motivations, and desires? The truth is, many men spend their lives pursuing goals that aren't really theirs, goals imposed by society, family, or even their own unexamined beliefs. Without self-reflection, you can climb the ladder of success only to find that it's leaning against the wrong wall. Here's a strong belief: true success starts with self-awareness. It's about understanding who you are at your core, your values, your passions, your strengths, and your weaknesses. It's about being honest with yourself about what you really want out of life, not just what you think you should want. This level of self-awareness doesn't just happen, it requires deliberate and regular self-reflection. And the men who prioritize this are the ones who build lives that are truly aligned with their deepest desires and values. But why is self-reflection so often neglected? Because it's hard. It's uncomfortable to confront your own thoughts and feelings, to question your assumptions, and to face the truth about yourself. It's much easier to keep moving forward, to stay busy, and to focus on external achievements. But without self-reflection, you're navigating life without a clear map. You're making decisions based on what you think you want, rather than what you truly need. And this can lead to a life that looks successful on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. Here's where the reward comes in: men who engage in regular self-reflection are more likely to achieve true success, not just in their careers, but in all areas of life. They make decisions that are aligned with their values and passions, leading to greater fulfillment and satisfaction. They are more resilient, as they understand their strengths and weaknesses and can navigate challenges with greater self-assurance. They build deeper, more meaningful relationships because they know who they are and what they need from others. In short, they live lives that are not only successful but also deeply satisfying. Imagine the impact of truly knowing yourself, of making decisions that are in harmony with your authentic self, of pursuing goals that resonate with your true desires, of living a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. This is the power of self-reflection. It's not about navel-gazing or self-indulgence, it's about creating a life that reflects who you truly are, rather than a life built on someone else's expectations. So, here's the challenge: make self-reflection a regular practice in your life. Take the time to sit with your thoughts, to question your assumptions, to explore your desires and motivations. Be honest with yourself about what you really want and what's truly important to you. The more you know yourself, the more empowered you'll be to create a life that's not just successful, but also deeply fulfilling. Don't wait until it's too late to realize this. Start now, and you'll find that the path to true success begins within. Legacy. It's a word that often conjures images of wealth, property, and material inheritance, things passed down from one generation to the next. For many men, the drive to build a legacy is closely tied to the idea of providing for their families, ensuring that they leave behind something tangible that will outlast them. But here's the reality check that many men only come to understand late in life: a true legacy isn't measured by what you leave behind in material terms, but by the impact you have on the lives of others. This is where the controversy lies. Society often equates legacy with financial success, how much money you've made, how many assets you've accumulated, and what you can leave behind. But this narrow view misses the mark. The real legacy you leave isn't in your bank account or your property deeds, it's in the lives you've touched, the values you've instilled, and the difference you've made in the world. And this kind of legacy, the one that truly matters, is often overlooked in the relentless pursuit of wealth and status. Curiosity might lead you to ask, what will people remember about you when you're gone? Will it be the size of your estate or the way you made them feel? Will it be the amount of money you left behind, or the values, lessons, and love you shared with them? The truth is, the men who focus solely on material legacy often find themselves at the end of their lives with a profound sense of emptiness, realizing that they've spent so much time accumulating wealth that they've forgotten to build something more meaningful, a lasting, positive impact on the world and the people in it. Here's a strong belief: a true legacy is about impact. It's about the relationships you build, the values you uphold, and the way you contribute to the lives of others. It's about being a role model, a mentor, a source of inspiration. It's about living in a way that others want to emulate, and in doing so, you leave a mark on the world that's far more valuable than any material possession. This is the legacy that truly lasts, the one that lives on in the hearts and minds of those you've touched. But why do so many men miss this truth until it's too late? Because the world places so much emphasis on wealth and status, on what you can accumulate rather than what you can give. Men are often pressured to measure their success by the size of their bank accounts, and so they spend their lives chasing financial goals, often at the expense of their relationships, their happiness, and their true purpose. It's only later, when the end is in sight, that they realize that the things they thought would define their legacy are not what truly matters. Here's the reward: men who understand the true meaning of legacy early in life are the ones who live with purpose and fulfillment. They build relationships based on love and respect, they invest time in their families, and they contribute to their communities. They are remembered not for their wealth, but for their kindness, their wisdom, and the positive impact they had on the lives of others. This kind of legacy not only enriches the lives of those who come after you, but also brings a deep sense of fulfillment and peace as you reflect on your life. So, here's the challenge: start thinking about your legacy in terms of impact rather than inheritance. Ask yourself what kind of mark you want to leave on the world, and then start living in a way that reflects that. Focus on building relationships, sharing your knowledge and experience, and making a difference in the lives of others. Because in the end, it's not what you leave behind in material terms that matters, it's the love, the lessons, and the positive change you've created that will endure.